Adventure Land in Lenox, Alabama, August the 7th, 2023. Tonight we'll be on part 15. It's going to take 500 parts for these atheists to get it. The earth is not billions of years old. We're going to talk about continental erosion rates. And you're going to think you're going to be surprised. You folks who believe in the geologic column are going to really not like tonight. You might want to shut it off right now. Okay, the earth is not billions of years old. So get us on Rumble, on Genesis Baptist Church, on YouTube, on Odyssey, a whole bunch of places on drdino.com. Okay, tonight, erosion. The earth is not billions of years old. Now, this Saturday night is the meteor shower. Yeah, how many are going to go up on the hill and watch the meteor shower? Okay, good, okay. I believe the Bible is literally true and scientifically accurate. God made everything in 6 days, everything, just like he said he did. And the earth is not millions of years old, and dinosaurs lived with Adam and Eve. Now quit lying to the kids about God's own creatures. We're supposed to be ready to give an answer, and I think most Christians in the last 200 years have not given good answers, and so we've allowed the atheists and evolution's dumb religion to take over our school system. Time to do something about it. So I want to strengthen your faith in God's word. If you're not saved, I want to get you converted, or try. And if you are saved and you're not doing much for the Lord, we're going to try to make you uncomfortable. Get busy. Find something to do. Help us stay open for free. Join our 777 Club. Make any checks to CSE. Go on a donate page on drdino.com. Let's see. Checks go to CSE, Creation Science Evangelism. Get our seminar series. What's on the $50 for the whole seminar on creation versus 18 hours. Creation versus evolution. Get our, we're in Lenox, Alabama. We got all kinds of stuff, brother, that can get, besides, I got to match up with what you got ready to go. You got the Woe series, this, wow, Age of the, and they just scan those dots. Okay, good place to bring your Awana group, Boy Scout group, Dinosaur Adventure Land. So how old is this earth? Well, let's talk about that. Let me go to slide number 1795. By the way, you can get all my slides on a thumb drive for $50. How many do I have on there now, brother? 50,000 maybe. I do a lot of research on this. Okay, in Job chapter 14, the waters wear the stones. Did you know when it rains, it wears out the rocks, wears them down? The rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. All the rivers run into the sea. He brought streams out of the rock and caused waters to run down like rivers. Which way do rivers run? Down, not necessarily north-south, but down toward the center of the earth. They run down like rivers, down like the waters. At the current rate of erosion, the continents will erode flat in 14 million years. At the current rate they're eroding down, they're going to be gone in 14 million years. Well then, how can we have rocks 300 times older than that still above sea level? Erosion proves the earth is not billions of years old. Erosion features all over the earth show there was much greater erosion in the past, probably from Noah's flood. Okay, continents should have eroded long ago. There's a great article on icr.org if you want to go there. New study indicates the Earth's overall erosion rate, although slow, would have leveled the continents 70 times over if they were as old as the evolutionary claim maintains. Geologists have been measuring quantities of beryllium. What? Yeah, beryllium. One of the studies they did, let's see, it's an isotope of the element beryllium, B10 is, that becomes radioactive with exposure to the sun. The more B10 is present at a given site, the longer it's been exposed to the sun without being carried off by erosion. Here's a good scientific way. How long has that dirt been out there in the sunlight? Okay. So let's see. The system was used by dozens of geologists to estimate erosion rates around the world. Study was published in Geological Society of America. They showed the collated beryllium-10 data from every continent. They painstakingly converted all the reports to directly comparable units and found erosion occurs 18 times faster in drainage basins than it does in outcrops. The study, which appears in the journal Geology, makes use of a rare element, beryllium-10, B10, that occurs when stars in the Milky Way explode and send high-energy particles called cosmic rays rocketing toward the Earth. When this galactic shrapnel slams into Earth's crust, it splits oxygen in the soil apart, leaving tiny trace amounts of beryllium, which can be used to precisely determine average erosion rates over the span of thousands to millions of years. So, how fast is the continent eroding? Would you say this is an example of erosion? Either wind or water, something has wiped out most of the rest of the rock around these things, huh? Look at that. The beach is eroding back. And guess what? When it erodes back, the dirt and sand and rocks go down. When you have a landslide, it goes down. The rivers run down. Down. Cape Hatteras Lighthouse, built on the Outer Banks in 1870. At the time, it was 1,500 feet away from the ocean. It kept eroding the beach up till it got almost to the lighthouse. So they had a great engineering problem, and they moved the lighthouse back to prevent it from getting washed out. Soil in the Midwest U.S. eroding 10 to 1,000 times faster than it forms. Well, if the soil is eroding away faster than soil forms, I think we have a measuring stick here, don't we? We can see how old the Earth is. How to calculate erosion rate. New study indicates the Earth's overall erosion rate. Continents would have eroded 70 times over using beryllium, radioactive exposure to the sun. The more beryllium that is present, the longer it's been exposed. Okay, we did some of this already, but there's something else in this article. If the Earth is billions of years old, why is the surface not completely flat? Fair question. Why haven't the continents eroded down flat? Erosion, removal of surface material from Earth's crust, primarily soil and rock debris, and the transportation of eroded material by natural agencies like water or wind from the point of removal. Take it where it was removed, put it down someplace else, lower. Erosion, all over the place. Erosion, Fish Canyon in Namibia, huge canyon. That's erosion, okay? Wind and water did the Arches National Park in, was that Nevada or Utah? I forget. Utah. Okay. I don't think anybody's arguing. There is such a thing as erosion. Let's see. The White Desert in Egypt. This is wind blowing away the material to leave behind these unusual structures. Well, apparently all of it was the level of the top of those things, and the rest got blown away. Now, that's pretty cool. The White Desert in Egypt. That's pretty cool. Wind erosion, yeah. Water erosion. The Garden of the Gods, Colorado. I used to go there all the time. My Uncle Kurt and his wife, Aunt Jeanette, lived out there. And we used to go visit them all the time, my mom's sister. Garden of the Gods, Colorado. Balancing rock. As the glaciers flow over a little hill, it rubs a bunch of stuff off on the leeward, on the upward side, and on the other side, it's called plucking. It actually pulls rocks out, plucks them loose. Let's see. Schematic showing plucking and abrasion of bedrock beneath a glacier. So the water can erode, the wind can erode, and glaciers can erode. There's a university in Berlin, talks about mountains. Let's see. Mountains can be eroded down. I agree. Okay? Erosion takes the mountains down lower. That's called erosion. Or subsidence. Subsidence, the ground can sink down, but it's always down because of what's called gravity, okay? Then there's uplift, isostatic rebound, and uplift because the continents are lifting up. But this is going to make a real problem. You atheists have never even thought about what I'm going to share tonight. You never even thought about it, okay? So let's see. Weathering and erosion are two important geologic processes in the rock cycle that play a major role in modifying the geologic expression on the surface of the Earth, in other words. The Earth's crust, under these conditions, gravity acts by erosion, redistributing mass from higher elevations to lower. It goes down? Yeah. Pay attention now. It goes down, right, okay. After the building of mountains, by tectonic and volcanism, chemical weathering and physical breakup shape the Earth's surface. They will destroy the excess topography of a mountain belt, converting rocks into sediment. They break the rocks up into smaller rocks and break those up into sand. It's chemical weathering or mechanical weathering. Earth's surface including the weathering of rock. In its original position, the transport of weathered material and erosion caused by wind action, fluvial marine, and glacial processes. Let's see. Erosion includes the transportation of eroded or weathered material from the point of degradation, such as the side of a mountain or landform, but not the deposition of new material. Erosion will occur after rock has been disintegrated or altered through weathering. See, just the sun causes the rocks to swell up and then cool down, swell up and cool down. Eventually they crack. The frost will crack them. The heat will crack them. The big rocks are breaking into smaller rocks. Moving water is the most important natural erosional agent. The wastage of the seacoast, coastal erosion, is brought about mainly by the action of waves, but also in part by the disintegration or degradation of sea cliffs by atmospheric agents, such as rain, frost, and tidal scour. The beach erodes back into the rock. Okay. This guy built his house and apparently had to give it up. I think the beach moved in on him, okay? The ocean moved in on him. Let's see. The abrasive action of sand and pebbles washed against shorelines is probably the most significant wave erosional activity. See, it's not just water, it's liquid sandpaper because it's full of sand and rocks and gravel, okay? Particles are dragged back and forth by wave action, abrading the bedrock along the coast and abrading each other, gradually wearing pebbles into sand. Who'd have thunk it? In rivers and estuaries, the erosion of banks is caused by the scouring action of the moving water, particularly in times of flood in case of estuaries. Okay. Glacial erosion occurs in two principal ways: through the abrasion of surface material as ice grinds over the ground, much of the abrasion action being attributed to the debris embedded in the ice along its base, and by the quarrying of plucking of rocks from the glacial bed. Okay. The Dust Bowl in the 1930s. The wind blew and it blew away half of Oklahoma and Kansas and Nebraska. Blew them down into Texas. That's why Texas is so big. How much material is in those clouds? A whole bunch, okay? Erosion is the glacial geological process in which earthen materials are worn away and transported by natural forces such as wind or water. A similar process, weathering, breaks down or dissolves rock but does not involve movement. So the rock stays there, but it gets broken down. Okay. Erosion is the opposite of deposition, the geological process in which earthen materials are deposited or built up on a landform. Most erosion is performed by liquid water, wind, or ice, usually in the form of a glacier, from National Pornographic, okay? Let's see. Plant growth can also attribute to physical erosion in a process called bioerosion. Plants break up earthen materials as they take root and create cracks and crevices in rocks. How many have ever seen that? The plant can grow and crack the rock? Oh yeah. Root pressure is phenomenal. Splits boulders right in half. So the plants can cause erosion. Sometimes the whole hillside just slides down. Mudslide, landslide, avalanche, glaciers. Let's watch this video real quick here. How do I get over to that one? Right here. This is just one of millions of examples where they've had an erosion, rapid erosion. Let's see, which way is it falling? Down? It's not going up? Down. Okay, make sure. I think walla 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 means get out of the way or something. I don't know. Just type in avalanche and you can watch 1,000 of them on your computer or phone. This happens all the time, folks. Now I have a simple question. It's falling down. I would say some mud slid down onto that house. What do you think? It's going to be tough to clean, huh, honey? Would you like to clean that house? No, okay. How about that one? I think that was a mudslide. How about that one? Boy, that's going to be, there goes the neighborhood. This happens all the time. Ground material falls down. Erosions, rock slide, landslide, mass weathering, ground creep. It happens all the time, all over the world. It's constantly happening, actually. They rescued a dog here from an avalanche. Look at that. The whole hillside slumped down. There's ground slump, ground creep, where it just slowly goes down. Highway department, what do? First of all, you drive around it until they fix it, okay? Guy had a nice house there. What happened? Those big rocks, I bet they fell down, didn't they? What do you think, Billy? It fell down? Yeah, okay. Look at that. Mud or whatever it was slid all the way down the valley. Avalanche, mudslide. Sometimes it's snow, sometimes it's mud, sometimes it's rock. Look at that. The whole hillside slid down over the road. Look at that. Slump, ground slump. In order to maintain belief in long ages, some might suggest that landforms were repeatedly uplifted. Here's what the atheists are going to say. Yes, there's erosion, mass wasting, landslide, but the ground is also being lifted up. I agree, but listen carefully now. You're about to shoot yourself in the foot. Are you listening? Providing more land mass for weather to erode. However, Loma Linda University geologist Ariel Roth noticed that this scenario would have obliterated the very rock layers that supposedly represent evolution's millions of years. If the erosion's taking it down and new stuff is coming up from underneath, well, then your geologic column is gone, isn't it? It's been suggested mountains still exist because they're constantly being renewed from uplift from below. Good point. However, this process of uplift could not go through even one complete cycle of erosion and uplift without eradicating the layers of the geologic column that's found in them. Think about it. Present erosion rates would tend to rapidly eradicate evidence of older sediments. Yet these sediments are still very well represented both in mountains and elsewhere, ICR.org. Let's see. Erosion rates they measure now are in hard rock. What if shortly after Noah's flood it was all mud, and then the erosion would be much faster, wouldn't it? See, after the flood, the mud layers would dry from the top down, and once eroding rivers and cut through the crust of the hard, dry part, it gets to the soft part. Now you get to rapid erosion again. What if Grand Canyon formed 50 years after Noah's flood, and by then the ground had dried out 100 feet? So you got 100 feet of rock, underneath is still mud. Once it cuts through that rock, it gets to the mud, and 90% of the canyon's formed in a couple weeks. Now it's all hard rock. And they're looking at today's erosion rates on the hard rock, and they're completely ignorant of the flood, like the Bible said would happen, 2 Peter chapter 3. Erosion features all over the earth show there was much greater erosion in the past, probably from Noah's flood. Here's the Zagros Mountains in Iran. After the flood, the mud layers would dry from the top down, and once eroding rivers cut through the crust and reach the soft layers, erosion would be fast again. The erosion rates they measure now are in hard rock. Present erosion rates would tend to rapidly eradicate evidence of older sediments. Yet these sediments are still very well represented. It's been suggested that mountains still exist because they're constantly... I did all that, okay. Let's see, he wrote... Oh, got it. I'm going backwards, there's the problem. Wrong button, okay. After the flood. There. This is a dust storm coming in. It's going to blow the dust. Erosion rates. Happens all the time. At the current rate of erosion, the continents will erode flat in 14 million years. How can we have rocks 300 times older than that still above sea level? Atheists, come on. Continents should have eroded long ago. So you guys teach your geologic column. How can you say the top layer is younger than the bottom layer? Do you ever stop and think, who taught you that? If the top layer is younger, where did it come from? Outer space? See, the continents are eroding down. Got it? Okay. The wind, the water, the ice all erode the layers down. It's going to be complicated for those of you that believe it came from a rock, okay? Isostatic rebound and uplift raises the continents up. Okay? Well, then your geologic column is gone. Every cycle you go through, isn't it? Yeah. So the geologic column gets eroded away and does not exist. Interesting. You really, really believe those layers are different ages. There's a word in the dictionary called stupid, okay? Let me read it to you. Slow to learn or understand, obtuse, tending to make poor decisions or careless mistakes, marked by a lack of intelligence or care, foolish or careless. The idea that the layers are different ages is stupid. Understand? Let's see, what else we got here? The idea the layers would not all be washed away over millions of years is also stupid. They're all going to be washed away. So I got a theory about this. Why haven't the continents eroded flat? Why do they date fossils as millions of years old? Well, about 6,000 years ago, God made everything in 6 days. Everything. 4,400 years ago, there was a lot of big flood. After the flood, there was lots of erosion, took place in a few days, and during the flood. It's gone slower as the mud dried to rock and water flow decreased. So I think the Bible is true, and scoffers are ignorant of the creation and the flood. But see, time is the pacifier for you evolutionists. You need billions of years to turn your frog into a prince. I know. Sorry, you can't have your passy. Go ahead and cry. Romans 1. The invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so they are without excuse. When they knew God, they glorified him not as God. Some of you who claim now to be atheists claim that you used to be a Christian, don't you? Some of you, that's part of your MO on your YouTube channel. I used to believe all that stuff. I don't believe it anymore. And you're proud of that. When they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. You have turned yourself into a fool. It is stupid to believe in evolution. I'll debate all of you with half my brain tied behind my back. There is no evidence. And they changed the glory of the uncorruptible God to an image made like to a corruptible man, and birds and four-footed beasts and creeping. You think God is like a man? No. Wherefore God gave him up. Read Romans 1. He gave him up, he gave him up, he gave him over. Maybe God given up on you. He changed the truth of God into a lie. God gave them up to vile affections, for their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Read all of Romans chapter 1 sometime. So, Big Bang Theory is dumb. Somebody told me, though, you can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid, but you can numb it with a 2x4. I like that. Can't fix stupid. You can, but it's illegal in most countries. Can't fix stupid, but you can sedate it. Who says you can't fix stupid? You have the right to remain stupid. You can't fix stupid. It turns out you can't quarantine it either. You can't fix stupid even with duct tape. You can't fix stupid, but you can watch it in action on Facebook every day. Watch the comments on my channel and other channels. You're going to see stupid in action. You want to see stupid in action every day? Go to your college classroom where they're teaching evolution. Yes, boys and girls, the entire universe came from a dot of nothing exploding 13.7 billion years ago. I'm sorry. That's stupid. Real stupid, okay? Life formed from rock soup. That's stupid, okay? All forms of life descended from an amoeba. That's stupid. Tell them all I said. I'll go to every university in the world and debate them all till I die. You're teaching a lie, guys, a bold-faced lie. So we covered quite a few ways to prove the Earth cannot be billions of years old. I would like to point out, even if it were billions of years old, that doesn't fix your problem. Nobody's ever seen evolution. Put them back up for a second, brother. So far, we have covered stalactite growth. These are the dates. I put them up there. The salt in the oceans. The Earth has a magnetic field. The Sahara Desert is growing. Oil pressure down in the ground. Let's see. The sun is burning up its fuel and shrinking. The human population, Niagara Falls is eroding. The oldest tree in the world, the ice cores, the delta formation, the coral reefs, the comets. Guys, you don't have billions of years. Get a new theory. Just get a new theory. Find something that fits in a few thousand years. I'd like to see that. Okay, any questions or comments? I can't hear you. Crybaby. Old mountain ranges like the Appalachians are eroding away, but there are also tectonic forces creating new mountains. Right. Now think about it, crybaby. Think about it. Okay, focus. If there are tectonic forces creating new mountains, they won't contain all the geologic layers, will they? Huh? Come on now. Are they going to contain the geologic layers, crybaby? No. Himalayas are currently rising at a known rate. I would agree. I talked about that. Isostatic rebound or several forces, plate tectonics, plates moving around. I don't question the fact that some continents are rising, but they're eroding off the top, which is going to wipe out your geologic column. Think about it. If you aren't able, ask your mama to think about it for you. Okay? Go ahead. Hello, Summers family is turning in. Went a week and a half ago. Willie, Samuel, Ariel, Anna had a great time. Well, thank you. Come on down, visit Dinosaur Adventure Land. It's free. What else do you want? Wants to pay you to come? I can't do that. I got both dollars in my pocket. I'm keeping them there. Okay. I heard September 21st is Revelation 12 sign, 7th year. I don't know. I can't comment on that. I did do a video series on what on earth is about to happen. I don't see it here. Oh, I gave mine away. Sandra, can you get me another one? No, the Woe series though. Okay. I did a whole series on that and a chart, and there it is, Woe series, $100. What on earth is about, what is it, 18 hours or something like that? Okay. Okay, any more questions, comments? And Crybaby, thank you for watching our channel, really. We're glad you come. You give us a good laugh, if nothing else, okay? That's it. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.